Hey y'all, I am working on my dress today. Some of y'all wanted to see me sewing it, so I'm going live today so y'all can see what I'm doing here. So I've already sewed up one side of the dress right here. I've got this sewed up, got a seam in it all the way down. Started right here at the sleeve, the bottom of the sleeve, and put a seam all the way around to the side. I've got my pocket sewed in right here, then got the seam run all the way down like that. So I've got one side sewed up right there. I am pinning this other side so that I can sew it. So I've got my sleeve pinned up right here. Now here is the seam, the front seam and the back seam for my sleeve that I've got in here. So I want to pin that in place. Pin everything in place because that will, if you just take material and you've got it laid together like this and you try to sew it without pinning it in place, sometimes you can do it. It depends on exactly what you're doing. Like when I get ready to put a hem in these sleeves, I'm not going to pin the hem before I sew the hem in these sleeves. I'll just turn it under and I'll just run a hem in it, and then I'll turn it again and I'll run another hem in it. So sometimes you can do that without putting pins in to hold things in place, but not with this that I'm doing right here. I need everything, all my material held in place. So here we go. It all smoothed out. Just pinning it all in place now. So like I said, some of y'all told me you wanted to see me sewing on this dress. I've got to sew this side completely down. Then I'll need to put a hem in each sleeve right here. And then I'll need to put a hem in the bottom of the dress, and I will be done. Okay, I see people on here. That's wonderful. Hey, Castoria. Hey, Star. Glad y'all are on here. All right. Okay, so the seam's coming right down here. Here's my pocket. So the seam is going to have to come out, go around my pocket, and then the seam will come back to the dress and go on down to where I'm going to put a hem. So let's get this pinned in place. Y'all know that I took one of my old dresses that is wore out that I use for fishing, and I cut that dress apart and made a pattern out of it. And that is how that I had a pattern for this dress. I couldn't find any dresses to buy that I liked, So I was like, okay, I'm just going to have to break down, and I'm going to have to just break out the sewing machine. I'm going to have to sew me a dress. We are counting down, y'all, until time to take the RV over to the beach. So we've been doing some maintenance on the RV. Y'all probably saw in one of the videos, you probably saw Carla up on the top, on the roof of the RV. She washed the RV. She washed the outside of the RV. She washed the roof of the RV and the sides and everything. And then she sealed the roof on the RV with some sealer. You need to do that every so often, but that you need to wash your RV. We wash our RV 2 times a year. We wash it when we get ready to go to the beach, and then when we bring the RV home, we wash it again. So every 6 months, we wash the RV. Had a little caulking that needed to be done in the bathroom, so I done that caulking in the bathroom. Got that done. Had a little bit of a project in the kitchen that we've been working on. We don't have it quite finished yet, but we're almost through with that. The Formica around the stove and oven, not the Formica, but the wood that was up under the Formica had deteriorated, so we had to tear that out and replace that. And our roof is not leaking. Different ones have asked me, is the roof leaking? No, the roof is not leaking, but we don't want it to start leaking. So that is the reason that every few years we wash that roof and we seal it, because we don't want that roof to start leaking. Okay, so I have all of this pinned in place. And hey, Star. Yes, Star, I can't wait till I'm fishing. Hey, Joyce. Yeah, Joyce says you have the patience of Job. Sewing is a bit tedious, and it's not anything that I can do real fast. I'm kind of slow with my sewing. I think it's because I'm so particular. But anyway, I'm almost through with it. Hey, Anne Marie. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Rebecca. Okay, Rebecca said, hello. I was just catching up on some of your older videos. Dress looks wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me show y'all. I've got just a little bit of a treat right here. I'll show it to y'all. That is Divinity. I've already taken one bite out of it. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Maggie. Okay. Got my dress here. Let's head to the first bedroom. Got my sewing machine set up in there, okay? And we're going to put this seam in. Get y'all set up here. Y'all can see. All right, so I'm going to start with the sleeve. This material has a tendency to try to curl up. I'm going to just smooth that out. Stick it up under here. I'm putting a 5/8 seam, 5/8 inch seam in this material in my dress. So I sew it forward just a little bit, then I put it in reverse and run it back. And then here we go, forward. And that is so that my seam won't unravel. If you'll reverse it and run it back, then your seam won't unravel. Okay, and see, I'm coming to the seams here under the armpit. You want to make sure your seams on the top and the bottom are both laying down in the same direction. Okay, so that you have a nice, smooth seam. So they are. They're both laying down in the same direction. Okay, I've got to make a little turn here. So what I done was I left my needle down in the material, lifted up the foot, and then turned my material like I need it to be to make this turn, because I'm going from the arm to the actual side of the dress now. Okay. You want to make sure that you've got your material laid out flat, because if you're not careful, some of your material that you've got over here, it can be folded up under and get caught up in what you're sewing. And then you've got like the arm of the other side of the dress sewed in over here. Then you got to rip it all out. So you got to make sure everything's just laid out nice and flat, and you don't have any extra material over here caught up where you're sewing. I have done that before, y'all, and it's just terrible to have to get that seam ripper and rip it all out and then have to start over. Okay, so we are coming up on the pocket. And same thing with your seams for your pocket. You want to make sure they're both laying in the same direction. Okay, so this seam right here, I need to lay it down. It's kind of puckered up. So I have my needle in my material, and that is the reason I leave my needle in the material, because I'm going to raise up this foot, and I don't want my material to move around, so that needle will hold my material in place. I need to smooth that down, which I'm having a hard time getting it to smooth down. You smooth down. And then I need to make sure that the material up under it is smoothed down. Okay, let's go forward with this just a little bit. Okay, let me check it and make sure it's smoothed down like I need it to be. Okay. I'm fixing to have to make another turn and start sewing this pocket right here. Okay. Okay, I've got my needle down in there. Let's lift up the foot. Let's make the turn. Let's put the foot back down, and here we go with the pocket. And so you have to have your straight pins, you have to have those put in the material far enough away from your little foot here that your foot don't get hung on these straight pins. So see, I've got them over here away from this foot. We are moving right along, looking good. About got the pocket sewed into place. We'll be coming back out to the side hem here. Okay, here we are. We've got the two seams right here. Want to make sure the top and bottom are both laying in the same direction, and they are. We're fixing to have to make another turn. Make sure everything's smooth, laying down smooth. Okay, let's make a turn. Here we go. And we're going to finish up this side seam. Coming to the end of it now, here, y'all. Okay, that's the end of it. I'm going to reverse, forward again, and we have that side of the dress sewed up. Got a little cutter right here. We'll cut that thread just like that. And we've got a couple of threads right here that need to be cut off. We'll cut those on the cutter. There we go. Then I need to take out all of these pins. So let's get the pins out. This is my Granny Cochran's old sewing table that I have here. I had to go out and buy me a new sewing machine, but I've got my Granny Cochran's old sewing table here. Right here. I love it. Okay, so let me turn this off. Now, okay, I'm going to go back in the kitchen and we will just flip this dress in right side out and we'll take a look at it. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Gloria. Hey, Renee. Hey, Gina. Hey, Margie. And I'll show you. I'm almost through with the dress. So, here it is, inside out. There's my pockets on, pocket on each side. My sleeves. Okay, let's turn it right side out. I just heard the clock chime, so it's about 4:30. So here we go. This is the dress. It's just a loose-fitting, lightweight dress. These are the kind of dresses I like to go out on the beach in and fish in. So that's it right there. I've still got to put a hem in the bottom, like I said, and I've got to hem the sleeves, and then it'll be done. All right, so I'm going to set this aside for right now. Thank you, Gloria. Hey, Joyce. Yeah, Renee. Renee said, I forgot about your fishing dress. So I'm going to set it, I'm just going to set it to the side, set it right over here. And I actually need to get some supper together. So you know what, I think I'll come over here. If y'all want to hang around a little bit, I'll show you what I'm going to put together for supper, okay? If y'all want to see that. Move my dress over here. Here's my cookbook, y'all. If you're interested in my cookbook, you can go to my web page and order my cookbook off the web page. You can look there on my profile and you can see my web page and everything there. Okay, so I am just pulling some stuff out of the freezer. Let me get it and just bring it all over here, okay? It'll be easier to put it together where y'all can see it over here. But, yeah, I got some stuff out of the freezer because I've been doing other things like sewing. And so I thought I'll just pull something out of the freezer. Let me get a styrofoam plate to put this on. I'll just pull something out of the freezer and I'll put that together. And I've got a bit of a mess over here, so let me get this cleaned up. Some of my stuff that I was throwing out has kind of leaked over here on my counter, so let me get this cleaned up. All right. It's nice to have some stuff in the freezer that you can pull out and warm up when you don't have a lot of time to put into cooking. If you've got some food left over that you've just thrown in the freezer, which is what I have here, then you can pull it out, put it together, and you're good to go, y'all. So here's this is just kind of a medium size. You know what? I really don't think I'm going to use this one. I think I'm going to use a deep dish when I just thought about that. Okay, y'all let me rummage around up here, get out the casserole dish that I'm wanting to use. Y'all see all of this? I have all of these Corningware with the blue cornflowers, all of these casserole dishes. I love them. I collect them, y'all. But here's the one. Here's the one I want to use. Yet, it is deeper. And I want to use this deeper one right here. So, put all this stuff back up in here, stacked up in here. All right, here we go. I got the one I want now. Thank you, Goldie. Melissa says, how many do you cook for? I usually just cook for 2. It's usually just me and Carla. So, yeah, usually just 2. All right, so we'll get around here. Well, let me get my cookbook and actually kind of look this up, because I'm going to make lasagna is what I'm going to do. And I'm not sure what I need to set my my oven on. So let me just look real quick. Okay, page 36 of my cookbook. Lasagna, homemade lasagna. Bake at 375. So let me turn this on. 375. Make sure nothing is in your oven before you start heating it up, because I have made that mistake before and melted stuff that was in my oven because I didn't check before I turned the heat on. I was storing stuff in my oven and then had a melted mess. Okay, let me wash my hands before I get into all of this. So I've got my meat sauce. It's already done. It was in the freezer. And I've had it thawing out some. So I don't have to like make meat sauce, you know, from scratch. Now, what you can do, if you don't want to make homemade meat sauce, you can just buy a jar of the ready-made spaghetti sauce from the store, and you can use that, and you can add meat to it, or you can just use it without meat. It don't have to have meat in it. Okay. See what everybody's saying. Hey, Dot from Canada. Glad to see you on here. Okay, Wanda said they're doing leftovers tonight as well. Yeah, Goldie, I love lasagna. Thank you, Kay. I'm so glad you're watching. I love it, y'all. I love everybody watching. It is so wonderful. Okay, so here's my meat sauce. Just going to pour some of this in here. Still a little frozen, but it don't matter. I'm just going to spread it out, and that oven will cook it right up for me. So I'm just going to put a layer of meat sauce here. And y'all, I have a little hack here. I'll show you. I am not going to use lasagna noodles, okay? And now you can buy the lasagna noodles, and I've got some. Maybe I can get them out and show them to you. Let me show you. Let me get these out. So you can buy these kind of lasagna noodles. It says oven ready. And so you can just lay them down in when you're putting your lasagna together, you can just lay these noodles down and they're dry. You don't have to like cook them ahead of time or try to have extra liquid in your lasagna sauce, your meat sauce or anything. These are oven ready. But I'm not going to use those. What I'm going to use is I had this in my freezer. This is some diced zucchini squash. It's raw. It's not cooked. And I love to use zucchini squash in place of lasagna noodles. It is so delicious. If you have not tried this, you should try it. It is a very, very good substitution for the noodles, and it's more nutritious for you than the noodles. Gigi, hey, y'all come cook with Gigi is on. If y'all saw me make the breakfast casserole here a few days ago, I got that recipe from Come Cook with Gigi. Y'all go over and look at her page, follow her page. If you're not familiar with her, she's a sweetheart, good cook. She's a friend of mine. And Gigi, I did figure out how to tag you in that live video. So I do have you tagged so that people can see that I got the recipe from you. But anyway, y'all, give Gigi a follow. You'll enjoy her. Gigi, I am making just a quick lasagna. I actually pulled my ingredients out of the freezer, some leftover meat sauce, and I am using diced up zucchini squash that I had in the freezer as well. It's raw. I'm using that in place of my noodles, and zucchini squash is so good in lasagna, y'all. Hey, Florine. Yes. Hey, Irma. Star says she's cooking breakfast for dinner. Oh, man. How many of y'all like breakfast for dinner? I love it. I love breakfast for dinner. Corned beef hash, fried eggs, grits, toast. Oh, yeah. Oh, Star hadn't been feeling well. Star, we need to pray for you. The Lord will give you a touch in your body. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Ann. Gigi, I was sewing on a fishing dress. Let me get it and show it to you. I done showed it to everybody a while ago, but this is, I like to wear these lightweight fishing dresses, or I call them a fishing dress. It's just a lightweight dress, and I've almost got it made. I've still got to hem the sleeves. I've still got to put a hem in the bottom. And one of the things I especially like about it is it's got pockets. Oh yes, pockets. So anyway, I'm almost through with that dress. Okay, I hear my oven heating up. Let's get this together. Okay, so I've got that. I've got me some meat sauce in there, okay? Like I said, y'all can use just a store-bought sauce, and you don't even have to put meat in it, okay? Now, here's my ricotta cheese. I was going to use it. Y'all, it started molding, so I'm going to have to just do without the ricotta cheese. Some people use cottage cheese, and I don't have any cottage cheese, so I'm just going to have to do without the ricotta cheese, but that's okay. All right. I'll put in some of these zucchini squash. Get them spread out here. And I also have, I'll show you what else I got too that I got out of the freezer that I'm going to warm up. I have some Coles garlic cheese sticks. I had these in the freezer. I'm just going to slide them in the oven and warm those up. All right, we got that. Now, I'm going to put cheese on this next, y'all. I love cheese. I love lots of cheese. So, we're going to put lots of cheese on it. This is mozzarella, and I also have some sharp cheddar. I'm going to add some of that. All right, got that. I put a little bit of this sharp cheddar on it. And I'm throwing this together just real quick. And I'll put her in the oven. And while it's cooking, I can go get me a shower. It's going to take about an hour for it to cook, I think. So that'll give me time to go get a shower. I'll put the rest of this meat sauce in here. I probably have about 2 cups of meat sauce here, y'all. Let me see if I can get the rest of this out of here. And this will be enough food that it'll feed me and Carla for a couple of days. And that'll be good. That means tomorrow, all we have to do is just dip some up on a plate and warm it up, and we'll have our food. And that's good because I have got to go to Mobile tomorrow. I have a dentist appointment, so got to go to the dentist tomorrow. So this will make it easy for us to have, you know, some food for tomorrow evening as well. Let's kind of get this spread out. Still just a little icy. Okay, there we go. Got that. I don't think it really makes any difference how you layer this in here, y'all. It's going to all cook together and combine together. Okay. Zucchini squash. Let's put it all in there. Get it spread out. There we go. I'm going to cover that with cheese on top of, woo, did that go in the floor? I don't think it did, just barely missed going in the floor. My cheese was in the freezer too, y'all, so some of it's still frozen. I was going to sing y'all a song. On top of Old Smoky, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor, and then my poor meatball rolled right out the door. How many of y'all ever heard that little song? It's one of the more kids' songs we used to sing. Okay, let's put a bit of the sharp cheddar on top. You can use whatever cheeses that you like. All right, let me rinse my hands off real good, and we'll put this into the oven. Sun's coming in over here. Let me see if I can pull this down to block some of that sun, or maybe y'all can see better. Come Cook with Gigi says, I love lasagna. Yes, I have sliced my zucchini thinly, long ways before, Gigi. I have done that before in the lasagna and layered it like that, like noodles. Sure have. Wanda says, is Come Cook with Gigi in Virginia? No, she is in Georgia. She is a Georgia peach. Hey, Darren. Glad to see you on here. Hey, Kimberly. Thank you, Florine. Hey, Mary. Hey, Goldie. Goldie, I'm not going to put foil on it. I'm going to slide it into the oven with no lid on it, okay? So, that's what it looks like right there. We're going to go into the oven. $375, y'all. It will take it about an hour to cook. So, just when it's nice and bubbly, all the cheese is melted, you can actually use a thermometer if you need to. It'll be ready, okay? Hey, Norma Jean. Come Cook with Gigi says, when am I going fishing? Well, we're taking the RV over to the beach on May 1st, Gigi, so it'll be May 1st. And I don't know that I'll actually get to fish May 1st, but we're going to move it over there on May 1st. It's an all-day ordeal to get. So we'll get up May 1st. We'll get up that morning. We have to hook the RV up to the truck, and you have to check all the running lights. You have to check your electrical. You have to check your brakes. You have to check your brake lights. You have to, make sure that your tires are aired up on your RV and on your truck. You have to make sure that, the connections are secure. So it takes a little time to get everything in place. Then we start on our trip over to the beach. And I pull the RV, I'll pull it a couple of miles, and then I stop. And I stop. And I get out and I walk around. I'll walk around the truck and the travel trailer to make sure nothing has come loose, to make sure everything looks okay. We don't have no flat tires. Where my travel trailer hooks to the truck, make sure all of those connections are secure. And that's just something you're supposed to do. I learned that as a CDL driver, and so I still do those things. And then then we'll start over there, and it will be probably, I don't like to take the interstate, so I take the back roads. And it'll probably take us a couple of hours to get there. We'll probably stop and eat lunch somewhere on the way. Then we'll get there. Then we have to check in. Then we go to our space, where we're going to set up. Then it takes us a couple of hours just to set everything up. So it's an all-day ordeal. We'll probably just walk down to the beach, maybe, and just, sit by the water for just a little bit. But I don't know that I'll actually fish on May 1st. Hey, Wilma. Hey, Gladys. Oh, hey, Lisa. Glad to see you on here, my friend. Good to see you. Come Cook with Gigi says, I'm Wonder Woman. Oh, goodness, yes. Come Cook with Gigi, she says, is there anything you can't do? Yes, there is something I cannot do, Gwen. I cannot do carpentry work. I really can't. But Carla is a good carpenter. I tried to build a well house over the well out here years ago, and it was just the pitifullest looking thing. It was just sad. But it did keep, it protected the well and everything, and that was good. But then Carla, a few years back, built us a nice well house. In fact, if I can lift this window up, I'm going to show you the well house Carla built us. Okay. You'll also see a mop and a mop bucket out there, but you'll get to see the well house. Carla built us a nice well house. Let me turn this around. Can y'all see that? That is the well house that Carla built us right there. It's like, I don't know, it's 8 foot tall, maybe? I don't know. You can actually stand up and walk in it. It's got room in it. You can store stuff if you need to. So, anyway, I am not a carpenter, but Carla is. And that's good. And I tried to build, my son Dave, I tried to build Spotty a doghouse, and it was so sad. The little doghouse that I built was so sad. But, so anyway, I can't do that. Oh, goodness. Yeah, the well house is cute. Yes. Come Cook with Gigi said teamwork. And I'll tell you what that reminds me of, y'all. In the Bible, over in the New Testament, I think it might be Matthew, I'm not really sure, but it talks about the body of Christ. It talks about the believers, those who are Christians, and we have our local churches that we attend, and it calls us the body of Christ. And it talks about, you have the hands, and you have the head, you have the eyes, you have the ears that you hear with, the mouth that you speak. You've got the feet that you walk around. And it says that we, as members of the body of Christ, we don't all have the same abilities, and we don't all have the same talents. God fixed it to where that each of us have different abilities and different talents, so that as the body of Christ, we can minister to one another and we can meet one another's needs. And so that's what that reminds me of, when Gigi said teamwork. So it also says in the Bible, it says, if the whole body were an eye, then where would the hearing be? Or if the whole body were an ear, then there's no mouth, So just like our body has many members and it functions, our physical body has many members and functions together, the body of Christ is made up of many members, and we're supposed to love and care for one another and minister to one another and take care of one another. Oh, Dot says, I remember Carla showing the doghouse, and she said, LOL. It was pitiful, wasn't it, Dot? It really was. It was sad. Hey, Amy. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Mary. Okay, so I'm going to just let that cook, y'all. Like I said, I'm going to run, go get me a shower. So I guess that's all for this evening. Whenever I get my dress, when I get it hemmed here in the next day or two, I'll come on here and I'll wear it. And I'll show it to y'all. Okay? Okay, here we go. Come Cook with Gigi says 1 Corinthians 12:12. So it's in 1 Corinthians. For as the body is one and hath many members, and all the members of that one body being many or one body, so also is Christ. Yes, that's what I was talking about, Gigi. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. Okay, I love you, good folks. I'll show you this dress maybe in a few days. I'll wear it and show it to you, okay? Y'all be good out there. See y'all next time.